matters, and hats off to our special guest,
Teri
Wright. And you're right on course because we're going to talk about fitness today. So sit back, but don't let yourself get too flabby, and we're going to begin right now.
All right.
Okay. Once upon a time, Teri was born in an obscure state called California, over in the San Francisco Bay Area. I think she said it's from Fremont. I bet you guys didn't know that Fremont was the first Republican to ever be nominated for president, 1856. He preceded Lincoln, who made it to the top Oval Office. But anyway, you're not running for president this year?
Not this year, no.
But you're running.
I am running, but not for president.
Okay, cool, cool. Now, we're going to go back in time. When you were back in grade school, middle school, you got the inclination to become athletic and sort of tomboyific, to coin a word.
I enjoyed sports.
Tell us your story. How did it all begin?
Sure.
That your interest in
being fit?
In being fit and
yeah, being healthy.
Yeah.
So it started, middle school, got very involved with sports in Oakland is where I grew up. Born in Fremont, grew up in Oakland,
right.
California. And so, girls being involved with sports is a very big thing. And so I was happy to be a part of that.
Which sports were you in initially?
So I played volleyball and then would go straight to basketball, then would play softball. And 1 year I did do track as well.
Wow.
So,
which was your favorite at that point?
It was pretty much whichever one I was playing.
A toss-up, literally.
I enjoyed basketball quite a bit.
What position did you play?
Forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Forward. Forward, like
Exactly.
Teri Wright and all. And was it challenging? Volleyball is not necessarily a guy's sport. It's a intramural, co-ed type sport and all.
Yeah.
So
it was the team I played on, of course, was for high school, so it was the girls' team. And,
what high school was it?
Skyline High School, which you may not know, where Tom
Yeah,
Hanks
I don't know the Skyline
went to
Kaiser
school.
Permanente place.
Yeah, you're right. No, Skyline. Tom Hanks went there. And
Tom Hanks, wow.
He was in a class few grades above me, and graduated with my sister.
You never asked for your signature?
I did not. He was gone by the time I got there. But yeah.
Okay, good. So now I have been to Oakland briefly, but is it a community where they are very sports oriented? They have teams and
I do. I believe so. I was able to go back about 3 or 4 years ago and run in their inaugural half marathon.
Wow.
And they went around Lake Merritt there in Oakland, and it was a gorgeous course, and it was a lot of fun, and lots of people came out. So
wow.
Yeah, but it's been a long time now since I've lived there, of course. So.
Do you still do running a lot?
Yes, a lot. So I enjoy running on my own, and then I have several groups that I run with. Gallagher's is downtown here. I run with the Gallagher's Fitness, and those are usually on the Saturday runs. And then I coach as well, running. So running
Tell
with
us what coaching is all about, because the inside story, Teri.
Well, of course, right now it happens to be running, but before that, I was coaching middle school girls basketball. So did that for about 5-6 years, and had several of my daughters on the team as well. And then I got to...
You have to tell them.
Yes.
She has 7 kids.
I do, yeah.
How many are daughters?
So the 3 oldest are my sons, boys, and then I had 4 daughters in that order. So 3 boys and 4 girls.
You even outnumber Fiddler on the Roof. They only had 5.
Yeah, we did the, I guess we did the Sound of Music thing, the 7 kids, so.
Not quite a Brady Bunch.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun. It is still fun, but so with the coaching with the kids, we're on the school team, helping out with that, and then coached softball for 3 years, and 1 year I had all 3 of my daughters on the team.
Okay. Now, I think some of our friends out there love to be motivated. They tune in to have icons like yourself motivate them. Tell us a little bit about some of the mentors and mentoresses that you had along the way, role models who gave you that extra encouragement and the kick in the backside a little bit.
Well, I have to give a little kudos to my cousin who got me started in running more seriously.
Yeah,
He
good.
challenged me to a 5K, and he lives in Riverside, California. So I
Good.
went down there and ran that with him, and barely survived.
Wow.
But it was fun, and I got hooked. So you know, that was kind of the start of that. And my dad was very athletic as well.
Wow.
So
What was his sport of choice?
I think basketball was his. Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah. So
Did he
and then I
also-
had brothers,
did he
always
also grow up in-
competitive with the brothers.
Did your parents also grow up in California?
No, my dad, Missouri, and a farm in Missouri.
Show me state.
Yeah, exactly. And then my mom, she did grow up in California. Yes. Yeah.
Now, you have done coaching along the way, and it's more than just the athletic skills. You teach work, cohesiveness, being non-judgmental, not harassing the other team.
Yes. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us some of the psychological
Yeah.
dynamics
Well, what
that
I-
go into
sure.
making a team
Yeah.
come together? That's real important.
It is. And what I enjoy about it, it's an area obviously that I'm very passionate about. And so be able to, you know, encourage the kids in their, whatever they're doing in life, to be, to following their passion, their dreams.
Sure.
And also, it's just the team bonding is very special too, and working as a team. And so when they go on in whatever, you know, course of life after high school, because that's what I coach now as high school athletes, they can take the things that they learn, and as far as the working together and encouraging each other and just trying to be a real positive.
Terry, I'm going to give you a challenge.
Yes.
This is off the cuff. Pretend that we're in the locker room and you're giving them a pep talk about going out there and doing their thing. Give us a little 2 or 3 minute sample of how you would rev them up.
Sure. Well,
So make believe, close your eyes. We'll watch the television, but close your eyes. And
Yes.
make believe you're in the locker room with Teri. And
Right.
you're one of her team getting ready to go out in the field.
All right.
Well, here's what she say to you.
I say, you know, you guys have been putting in the work and the effort, and encouraging, you know, I want to encourage them and just tell them, you know, I want you to enjoy yourselves and have fun, and give it your best effort. And, you know, whatever the outcome is, you know that you have tried your hardest. And, you know, that means at some point you may cross the finish line first and you may not, but you know that you've worked hard at that, and you can feel good about that accomplishment because no one can take that away.
Terrific.
So, you know, that's the beauty of it is you know, putting the work in and seeing results.
And how do you deal with somebody who's brand new and novice to the team? How do you kind of orient them to?
Well, I try to, and we do get those. I coach track now. Is springtime, and in the fall I coach cross country. And a lot of the kids, we have a lot of fun on the cross country team, and so we get a lot of newbies and that haven't run before. And first I tell them, you're not going to actually run across the country. We're just going to run, well, for varsity 3 miles, 3.1, and you know, for JV it's less than that. So trying to initially just start off slowly and not to beat themselves down because they're not as, you know, quick as the person next to them.
Yeah, all
but
right.
to realize that everybody had to start somewhere, and if they can show up each day to practice, that they will get better. And just put the work in. That's kind of the beauty about running. I mean, everybody's choice of exercise is different, but you know, it's one of those sports that you can you pretty much know you're going to get better if you put the time and the effort in. So
Now let's go to a transitional area. Some of the people who are watching our show are senior citizens, retirees. They may
Okay.
not have as much pep and energy.
Okay.
What kind of exercises would you personally recommend to keep their fitness, keep in shape, and not having them droop their belly or elsewhere?
Yeah.
And
Well,
turn
I
lethargic?
personally I do love running, but I also love walking. So if there's any way that they can walk, and it doesn't matter the pace, it doesn't really matter necessarily how far, it's just getting out there and doing it. Maybe it's, you know, walking, each day a little bit further past your mailbox, and you know, and coming back, and just being able to do that. There's little exercises you could probably do in your chair as well if you have the little, you know, the dumbbell things. Sure, sure. And
some of that, yeah.
but you know, again, it's kind of like the newbies. You know, don't get discouraged and stick with it.
And exercise something besides your jawbone. Sometimes I fall into that trap.
Some of both.
Confessional. Yeah. We have in our studio one of our directors, Kanta Luthra, a good friend of mine, and her dog, and she actually uses walking her dog as a justification for getting exercise and keeping herself more physically fit.
It's good.
And
yeah, yeah.
that helps her a great deal.
Yeah.
Helps her to fight off that sciatica stuff. You know.
It's good.
Yeah, so are you in touch with your grandparents?
No, they are no longer on this earth. But
your parents are they qualified as senior citizens almost?
Just
On the cusp?
let's see, one they just passed away. One of them quite a while ago, and one just recently.
So you're the oldest generation, kind of.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
when they were with us on Earth, they were athletic too, somewhat?
oh yeah. My dad especially. Actually, my mom played tennis, so I never got into that. But she played college.
Yeah, Mother's Day is coming up, so let's we'll dedicate this show to your mama.
Yeah,
what was her name?
thank you, Lynn. Lynn Losey.
Okay.
Bless her heart.
Okay, Lynn Losey up there in heaven.
Yes,
See, we're
thank
doing
you.
This in your honor.
Yeah,
There.
and it's kind of funny. She had, I am one of 5, and she had us in 6 years. And I have, as we've said, I have 7 kids.
Almost like a conveyor belt.
I was pregnant with number 7 when the oldest was 9 years old. So that was a lot of little bambinos.
Okay. Tell all the ignorant men out there, including myself, what are some of the trials and tribulations of pregnancy? Since you're a 7-time veteran, are there some things that we
I think
we should know to be more sensitive?
Well, it just, you know, you get tired a lot, and you gotta. I think another thing with even the whole fitness thing is our diet and what we're eating. And so, you know, as a pregnant mom, you want to be even more so careful about your diet and you know what you're feeding. I actually have a daughter right now who is pregnant with number 2, so I have a couple grandkids as well.
And what should she and other pregnant ladies avoid eating? What is a no-no?
Anything with preservatives and you know that kind of stuff. So I'm more
wash those ingredients.
Well, some of them I don't think you can wash off, but you know, fruits, lots of fruits and vegetables, and you know the kind of.
Is fish acceptable?
Oh, and fish, of course. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you have any future aspirations over the next year or two of some kind of event that you'd like to tackle?
Well, I do triathlons, so I enjoy the swim and the bike as well as the run.
Swimming.
Yeah. So.
Where do you swim?
Usually at the courthouse. Yeah, on River Road out there. In Salem here. And also Silverton Reservoir when it's warmer. It's a very nice place to go swim.
Didn't know you could swim there.
Yes, it's really nice because there's no motorized you know, vehicles in that. You know,
Keep in mind, Silverton Reservoir. You know, one of the things, this is just peripheral, but I would like to see the next legislature pass a law saying that wherever 2 or more people have drowned, that they should have a special warning sign, almost like they have on highways where people have had
that's
accidents,
a good idea.
and you know, just use the context of this is a dangerous place. We're not just saying this because we want to sound nice, but you know, there for
a good awareness thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, next legislature, Peter Courtney, Speaker Tina Kotek, Governor Brown. Here's something to write down in your agenda for 2017. Okay. I like to do civic involvement and all.
Sure.
Now, if you were hypothetically in charge of the school system of Salem-Keizer and you were trying to develop some new upgrades in the fitness program for kids as a counterpoint to obesity and other diabetes and other things that zap them in the rear ends,
I would say,
where would you start?
you know, food, what they're eating, and you've seen those vending machines, you know, that instead of offering, you know, junk food type stuff, offering, you know, different fruits and different healthier options. I think that's would be huge in the, you know, what they're eating. A lot of direct links to, you know, not only the health and fitness, but even the mind, and you know, feeding the right fuel to the bodies that we have. And yeah, I think that would go.
Are there
a long
one
way.
or two websites that you consult that you would recommend as a guide to?
Not specifically. Yeah. But and then of course, you know, just getting out, then letting them get out and get more fresh air and more exercise in general.
Now, at least for the older generation, each year we get an annual physical, which Medicare takes care of.
Right.
And maybe younger people should do that. And I would recommend they do it on the week of their birthday as a birthday present for their own health, and maybe also consult a nutritionist.
Sure. Yeah,
so they can check to see that they're not poisoning themselves slow motion. We do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Oh,
We do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of people today who are in nursing homes because they have been very self-neglectful with poor diets, and they don't know how to shop.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah. I think a lot of it
bother
is
level.
just the knowledge to know, you know, and then you've got to have, you know, the willpower to do it as well in some ways, because if you've been so trained to eat a certain way, you just, you know, creatures of habit. We get up and we, you know, eat those same things, and yeah.
Teri, what are schools teaching these days in their health education classes that encourage fitness?
Well, I'm a coach,
Yeah.
so I'm not a teacher.
Right, but are you aware of what's going on in
You
the
know,
classrooms?
honestly,
Not really?
probably not
Okay.
so much. Yeah.
Check with your kids because they can give you feedback.
Yeah,
Some of
I
them can.
actually homeschooled.
Oh, you homeschool, so you don't know what's going on.
Well, up until the
Okay.
8th grade,
Yeah.
and then they went to the private school that I coach at. So, so
okay.
they had some of both, and then went on to
Okay.
college. And
I'm just wondering whether you had any thoughts as to how the current health education system could be upgraded to make people more aware, stuff like that. Several years ago, I have a friend from Greece, a fellow social worker, and she had asked me to put together a speech, sort of an essay, about how do you get through to young kids on health topics other than just lecturing them sort of like from front of Olympus. And we came up with the ideas from jigsaw puzzles to video games to board games to even puppetry
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
sort of
yeah.
unofficial fun ways to learn health
Sure,
education,
sure.
including diets and stuff.
I think, I mean, ideally, which isn't always the easiest way, is if we could, you know, educate the parents. And when we can all learn, so, you know, that they can then pass that on.
Are they using comic books at all to teach proper diet and also physical
I
fitness?
don't know, but that's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah, because kids are,
kind of drawn to that.
When
Sure.
you were a kid, did you read the comics?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay.
Yeah,
Andrews,
yeah,
Peanuts, et cetera, and all. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about preparation for a marathon. What does one have to do behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's see, I've run several marathons and lots of half marathons, and you know, pretty much the same thing, a lot of training. And of course, the marathons being that much more training, and so it takes a lot of time where you're running, you know, 4 or 5 days a week, and then it's kind of following that same thing where you're watching your nutrition as well.
Yeah.
And so both those things, and then of course getting a good amount of sleep, you know, is very important. Very important to get
8, 9 hours.
Yeah,
that's good.
ideally 8, I would say, but
Okay.
even 7 to 8, and then just being able to kind of, you know, they say when it gets closer to bedtime, you're turning off some of your devices and just kind of, you know, getting into that that mode of sleeping. So.
Now, dehydration is always a threat to a runner. Could you
Yes.
address the
Yes,
the
and
need for
I am
liquids?
constantly
And I'm
telling
the
my
fir-
kids to drink
I'm a
water.
violator of that because I don't drink my requisite hours a day, even though
yes, yes.
I should be.
Well, with the high school, with our athletes, you know, it's one thing to drink right before the race, but really they need to be hydrating throughout the whole day. And, you know, so it's constantly reminding them, because that is very important. You're right, yeah. And then most of the big races, you know, that I do, the longer distance, of course, they have aid stations, which is where you'll get water, electrolytes, those kind of things.
Now, looking at the downside, because we got to warn our audience about things that could deteriorate your well-being. Hi, Patrick. And so, tell us. I heard the carbonated beverages really act against your well-being, and
yeah, that would
that.
definitely be one that I would stay away from. And,
Caffeine. Drinks,
I think you know, in terms of, you know, like, so coffee and stuff, a limited, you know, you have a cup. So in the morning is, you know, moderation. I think is good. Very good. But and I think one thing we need to be careful with is juices. Juices are very high in sugar, extremely high, and it's you know, it's a better kind of sugar. But if you grab a like, you know, some kind of, and it could be like 30 grams in one bottle. That's a lot of sugar.
It is.
And so again, just moderation, and you know, water being pretty darn good beverage there.
I check it out. I go to where they have the juice cabinet over in the grocery. I won't mention the grocery because I don't want to do a free ad for them. But I look, and anything above 27 is too much for me.
Oh, well, that's good. See, that's awesome, because that's the first.
I'm pretty diabetic and I don't want to cross the line.
Well, that's the first point, is to read the labels. I think that's a really, really good place to start. If you're reading the labels and if you're conscientious of it, then, you know, you're going to be more apt to make the right decision.
Cool.
Yeah, but to be informed about that is probably.
I'd like you to, in the 5 or 6 minutes you have left, to talk a little bit about your own kids and their immersion into the fitness world and how each of them approaches.
Yeah.
You have 7 examples now.
Yes,
so
I do.
So take as many as you're happy
Well,
with.
I think kind of what's neat is that with the running, which I got into, now it's been about 7 years. And I've been able to do a race with each of them. And they're all in their 20s now. Okay. And so
and you're only 30, that's
you know what happened?
That's a miracle. Wow.
But yes, thank you.
Okay.
Good genetics.
Okay.
But anyway, no, it's been really fun. Like I've done a full marathon with one of my daughters. I've done several half marathons and just you know, 5K, 10K races, the whole gamut. So that's been really neat. And then, of course, in high school they all participated in sports, and in middle school as well, of course. But yeah, it's really fun. They enjoy sports together. They a couple of them live in Washington. They came down a couple weekends ago, and the first thing they wanted to do is they wanted to go play tennis. So the 4 of them go out there and
that was my father's game. That's how he literally courted my mother.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
It's Prospect Park, which is the Central Park of Brooklyn.
I like that. Courted your mother. Very good.
Well, he did, right? Yeah. Love.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And I was saying that was what my mom, that was her sport of choice too, tennis.
Now, your dad played tennis too?
Mostly basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, yeah. And then he was actually a pilot. That's what his life job was. So
that keeps your mental acuity going, basketball. And
yes.
Where was he a pilot?
He flew out of San Francisco, and he was with Pan Am for 20 years and United for 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so consequently I've been able to fly quite a bit and also visit my kids all over the country.
Fringe benefit. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But and fly, and when I fly, been able to run in different places.
Okay.
So
I can ask open-endedly. Let's say people watching you on the TV screen today saying, "Gee, I want to be like Teri when I grow up or get older." What advice would you give them to pave the way? What stepping stones would you, Teri Wright, recommend to our future fitness buffs of 2020 and 2030?
Right. Well, I would say I encourage people to kind of start small, somewhere where you can stick with it. whether it's you're going to do something with your diet, you're going to increase your water intake, you're going to start going to bed at a decent time. That's going to look different for everybody. And whether you're going to start walking, whatever it is, take it in small steps, and then
Hope you're taking notes.
and stick with it. And I think you'll see the benefits and enjoy it. And that's kind of what keeps me going, is just knowing you're going to feel good at the end of the day.
And I noticed that you have a very resilient, bouncy personality, and I wonder whether that vitality you attribute to something external to your athletic prowess, or whether there's another secret behind your upbeat persona. Tell us your trade secrets. Reveal it to the audience.
To the world.
Transparency.
Honestly, I think I got a lot of that from my parents. Very upbeat, positive. Thinking just on the bright side of life.
How do you overcome frustration, Teri?
Know that it was put there for a reason, and a reason for me to grow.
Good. See that? So I know you feel frustrated, not because you're watching the TV show here, but because other things in your life, external to the program. Overcome the barriers. Have no fright, have no fear, just have faith and persevere.
Yes, I like it.
That's my mantra from high school days way back when. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any questions I haven't asked you which you would like to answer? There's an open-ended one there.
I think we covered it pretty well. Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, and appreciate the opportunity to sit here and chat with you, Lee.
Good. Yeah. Well, we have all kinds of shows. We have art shows. We have a lot of musicians coming aboard. We've had some political personalities. Last week we had Mayor Anna Peterson gave a very fine presentation dialogue with us. Today we're having a Southern rock singer. At 3, we're having someone dealing with the refugee type things and all. And this is Earth Day today, by the way.
It is.
So,
yes.
If you have any Earth, I'd like you to then we'll talk a little bit finally about the actual practice you do for a marathon. Do you do it in the health club? Do you do it at home?
Mostly outside.
Outside.
Yeah, outside.
And what kind of pavement or grass or terrain?
I like to mix it up, but I love running in our parks here. I love Riverfront and going out to Minto, getting a lot of miles in there, Minto Brown, and then of course Bush Park, real close here.
Okay.
Very excited to see the bridge going across there into Minto Brown. That will be wonderful. Yes.
Nirvana.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay, and in the weeks ahead, if somebody wants to see you or consult you, do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website, but...
Do you want people to email you with any questions?
They can email, sure.
Where should they write?
That would be the first 2 letters of my first name, T-E, and then my last name, Wright, which is W-R-I-G-H-T, at integrity.com.
Integrity.com, okay. So as you run into action and scoot along, and I want to wish you happy Mother's Day for your 7.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate that.
And we will see you again soon.
I hope so.
Carry on.
All right.
Teri Wright. Right on. Bye now.